Hi preschool, happy Monday. It's Miss Ahern here, back to read you a brand new story. Let's take a look at the title. Ready? The title is called This is the Way We Go to School. And this is a story that talks about all the different ways that children around the world go to school. The author is Edith Bayer. She wrote the words, and the illustrator is Steve Jorkman. He drew the pictures. So take a minute to think about it. How do you go to school? Do you take a car? Do you take the train? Do you ride your bicycle? Do you take a bus? How do you come to school? Let's read about all the children around the world and see how they go to school. Ready? We're going to open up the story, turning the page until we find the words. Oh, here they are. Whenever we read, we always use our finger and we point to the words one at a time. We start on the left and we move to the right and we go from top to bottom. So let's begin. 1 by 1 or 2 by 2, come along. It's fun to do. How many people are going to school in this picture? There are 4 children going to school. Alan takes it nice and slow. Time to watch the flowers grow. I'm hearing some rhyming words right now. Slow and grow sound the same. Liz and Larry, as a rule, wear their jogging shoes to school. But at 20 minutes past, roller skates are twice as fast. So I'm hearing even more rhyming words. Fast and past, those words rhyme. Rule and school, those words rhyme. And the fastest way by far is by school bus or by car. Far and car, those words rhyme. They sound the same. Do you take a car or bus to school? Jenny, Jerry, Pete, and Perry ride the Staten Island ferry. What is a ferry? It's a type of boat. And this right here is a city. This is the city of New York, which is actually very close to us. We could also take the ferry across the river to get to New York. Cable cars take Jack and Jill up the hill and down the hill. So you go up in a cable car and then down. Cable cars are used for very mountainous areas that have a lot of hills or mountains. And this is the city of San Francisco. It's very hilly. Michael and his friend Miguel see the rooftops from the L. The L is the name of the train in Chicago, in the city of Chicago. So these 2 students are taking the train to go to school in Chicago. Horse and buggy rides, it's plain. Start the day for Jack and Jane. So Jane and plane, those words rhyme. And there's the buggy. It's kind of like a wagon with wheels. They live in an environment that's very different than Miguel and Michael. How is it different? Yeah, Miguel and Michael live in what's called a city, where there are lots of buildings and lots of skyscrapers. Jake and Jane live in a more rural area, where there are a lot of farms and grass. And in Philly, Mitch and Molly go to school by trackless trolley. Here's the trolley. It's attached to cables. Bianca, Beppo, Benedetto ride aboard the Vaporetto. So these are students going to school in Venice. And Venice is full of canals, full of water. So you need to take a boat or a gondola to get to school. Beautiful up against the breeze, Niels and Solveig go on skis. So they get to school by skiing. They live in very cold and snowy places. Palm trees help keep Ahmed cool on his sunny walk to school. This is a very different environment. How is Ahmed's environment different than Neil and Solveig? They live in a very cold and snowy environment. Ahmed lives in a desert where it's very dry and sandy. Mira takes time out to play. School's a hop and skip away. And watch Sepp and Heidi sail through the air from peak to vale. So they live in a mountainous area. They have to use what's called a cable car to get up the hill. Akinyi leaves for school by train far across the mountain chain. Kay and Faye and Flo and Joe go to school by radio. That's kind of similar to us right now. Instead of going to a building, they stay at home and they learn through the radio, just like we learn through the computer. Bicycles bring Mei and Ling through the traffic of Nanjing. These are students in China. They ride their bicycles to school. And beneath the dripping sky, Ram is riding dry and high. This is a student going to school in London. And this is called a double-decker bus. Why do you think it's called a double-decker? Because it has 2 floors. 1, 2. William comes ashore by boat, counting seagulls while afloat. Carlos takes the town in stride. Luz prefers the countryside. And the famous metro line suits Igor and Ileana fine. These are students going to school in Russia. Go by copter, by skidoo. Somewhere, sometimes, some kids do. So these kids live in a very snowy environment. So sometimes they have to take the helicopter or even they have to take sleds to school. You come too. We'll look for you. The end. And this is the map of the entire world, where all the different students live. Some students live in Asia. Some live in Australia. Some live in Europe. Some live in Africa. Some live in South America. And we live in North America. We live in New Jersey, which is a state up in the north part of North America, very close to the ocean. All right, preschool. I hope you enjoyed our story. I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new one. Have a great day.